I just pulled my groin.
Whoa.
Counting.
There we go.
What's up, everybody?
Double live.
Double live. Our second start, this time with audio. Can you hear everything good? We just launched a show 3 minutes ago, did a couple minutes with no audio. So I just got a text. I wonder if that's from someone who's watching or listening. But welcome to the Noonan Show, live on YouTube, taking off on a podcast platforms like Spotify and iTunes. I definitely
Still a little quiet on the YouTube.
I definitely think we're way more popular on
When they don't have to see us.
as like as a podcast right now than we are as a YouTube show.
That's
I
all
don't know.
right,
I don't know how to break into the YouTube.
Maybe we should just mention that we're on YouTube a bunch of times.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess I honestly don't know. I think there's something probably I'm not doing.
I found more tags. I found that not to rush into this live, but I found what you did, and then there's another place that I added other ones.
Oh,
so there's
good.
probably even more places.
That's good. Yeah, we need to find those things. There's also I gotta talk to Danny. There's like a thing about how to like put us on
Live,
the
page,
like
right?
There's like a channel. We can put ourselves on a channel when we broadcast. Because right now, I feel like no one can just stumble upon this.
Because
show.
I saw just like a guy just like staring at a webcam. He wasn't even doing anything.
And it's got like 400 people watching it. Like I watch shit like that all the time. I just go to live and I look at what's there. And I'm like, our show is better than a lot of this shit.
Yeah.
And we get like 30 views.
We have 2 microphones.
We have 2 microphones. We have camera. We got we got Paul running a board, a visual board and a soundboard.
No, it gets confusing sometimes.
But it's weird. But luckily, due to the algorithms on like iTunes and Spotify, we're a new show where it's like a well produced hour-long show. So we're getting a lot of attention there.
Yeah, so get on your shit, YouTube.
We're like catching up to
It's your problem,
hypothetically as far as daily.
Oh wow!
Like it's catching up. It's not like there yet. But I'm looking at the daily downloads and I'm like, wow, like
it's nice. That's good.
It's getting there.
We'd like to see the numbers. We don't really care though. At the end.
I don't really give a shit about who's watching live. Like, I don't even know necessarily how many people watch the Kumia show live. Like, I don't always watch it. Like,
I don't think a lot of people do, but I like it better. I like Rogan
I like that it's
better.
an option.
I like
I like that it's an option.
You can go back and watch it later, so that's cool too.
Yeah.
But it's like sports. I like to watch everything live, and I know if you don't know the result or anything, nothing changes, but something feels different.
100%. 100%. You know, speaking of sports, are you a fan of Joe Castiglione, the Red Sox baseball radio guy?
I don't even know. No, I never.
He was like, everyone's talking about him today because there's like heat in the Boston sports world today because Lou Merloni. Like, someone at the Globe wrote an article about how Joe Castiglione doesn't have, like, a co-host this year, and they're going to cycle in a bunch of people.
All right.
Like, it's going to stink, and basically kind of, like, threw some shade at EI. And Merloni gets up, and he puts, like, a tweet out, like, Chad Finn's, like, a hack who doesn't know how to write. And then Chad Finn writes back, like, well, I didn't write about you because you're a phony, and everyone thinks so. Like, everyone in the Red Sox thinks you're a phony. And I'm like, oh, my God, right? So then Kirk Menahan is like, Joe Castiglione stinks. And I write, you think Joe Castiglione stinks? I was like, he's a lot of things. You can say a lot of things. But you can't say the guy stinks. Like, you can't say he's talentless. He's Joe Castiglione. So then he retweets me, and he's like, doubles down, like, I think he is talentless. Like, he's boring and old. So then I get in, like, sports conversations all day.
You push this whole narrative a lot further, too. He probably wouldn't have doubled down.
Yeah, but I'm just like... You can say a lot of things, but I'm like, what do you want? This one guy in the mentions was like, oh, well, I want baseball's having a hard time getting young people into it. Guys like him don't help. I'm like, young people are not tuning in to radio to listen to baseball games. It's like you're fucking up one of the things that works, which is Joe Castiglione. Like, now you're just, in the attempt to draw people into baseball, you're just fucking up a good thing. It just bothers me when they do shit like that.
We should have saved this for Old Man Noonan.
Oh, this is Old Man.
This is it.
This is it.
Retroactive.
Old Man Noonan segment right now. Baseball on the radio. Even Kirk Menahan. I'm telling you, I'm a Kirk Menahan fucking supporter since his suicide attempt. but it's getting hard.
I like him. He's a shit stirrer, but I like him a lot.
But the people he like takes on now, I'm like, dude, fight Goodell. I like that. When you're shitting on Rob Bradford and like fucking
the local
some chick reporter from like the Providence Journal, he's like fighting her on shit. I'm like, relax.
I don't get why people. Some people like to troll on Twitter, but some people it feels like they're almost like frothing at the mouth in a negative way. They're getting nothing positive from it. Because I like to troll on Twitter.
Minahan was hospitalized for mental health. He was in a mental institution
so he shouldn't be
months ago.
Yeah,
and now he's flying all over the country, shitting, getting in people's faces and confronting them.
So something's going on.
I'm like, there's no way that his like wife and his doctor and shit aren't like, oh, this is fine. Like this is great.
You definitely gotta be a little. Those are warnings.
You gotta make money, and his job is kind of to be like that guy.
Yeah.
But I like him because I'm like, hey, here's a guy who's got some clear depression problems, but he's like open with it, and he shows that you can like live your life and have these problems.
And he's good too. I think he's good.
He's absolutely good. But sometimes as like a guy who likes Kirk Minahan, I'm like, man, this is like bad, you know? Like, that's not good. Like, there was one thing about Goodell. I'm like, hey, you're a reporter. You want to get in Goodell's face with your cell phone. It's like, cool. But then there was another one. It was like a lady who had like said some shady shit about him on like another morning sports radio show.
That's a little weird.
He's like up in her grill. Like, do you have a comment about that? What do you like to talk crap on radio? And I'm just like, dude, like,
it gets hard. I think sometimes it's hard to like distinguish where the battle begins and ends though. Like you're fighting Goodell, and now it's just like this lady and you're still fighting her like the same way. Like
and like no one's talking to you because like you don't have a great job anymore. Like when you're at EI, I'm sure a lot more people are like ready to chat you up than when you're like have a podcast on Radio 1.
Yeah.
I don't know. That whole thing, I mean, in the Boston sports, like it's pro
crazy.
Wrestling where there's kind of
it's very crazy, especially
fake fights.
And there's like WCW and WWE with like EEI and 98.5.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
That's all very interesting. I'm hoping to mix it up with some of those guys when I'm down in Fort Myers.
That'd be cool.
In my brain, Fort Myers is like it's funny because it's like a big city. Yeah. But in my brain, it's like we're all going.
It's the Olympic Village.
We're all going to like some tiny camp somewhere. Like I think I might have like a childlike idea of what training camp's gonna be like. Like I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna see Mookie at the water fountain.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, I'm hoping to mix it up with some of these guys I watch on TV all the time because we'll be in the same town. It's like we're in the same town all year.
Are you gonna find all the bowling places and try to run into Mookie Betts?
My like my man down there, like the guy in charge of everything, he told me that there's a bowling alley like right around the corner from where we're staying. But it's mixed, Paul. It's a mixed bag for me because it's like I won't have my bowling ball.
Oh yeah, you can't take your ball. You can't not carry on.
It's like It's like a fucking 15-pound bowling ball. It's actually 14 pounds, but it's like that thing is heavy, dude. Like, just taking it by itself would cost me.
Wouldn't it be really funny too? That's your only like you carry on, just your bowling ball.
Here's how psycho I am though. I've considered like buying one down there,
shipping it back up,
and then shipping it back. I'm like, I kind of want another ball anyway.
It's my Florida ball.
And then I'm like, I wonder maybe I could rent one for the 2 weeks I'm down there. Like like a basic hook ball. But had a great day of bowling yesterday. Had the bowling alley to myself.
Yeah, that's awesome.
For the most part. There was like a teenage couple that came as I was like finishing up, and they put them like maybe a couple lanes away from me, which was ridiculous. I'm like, this whole place is empty. I'm like, why smush us together? But they looked so terrified of me, and like not even like terrified like in a serial killer way, but just in like a why? Like, who is this guy and why is he here and why bowl alone? Like, it just seemed like they didn't get it.
There's a lot of questions.
Why are his shoes? Why don't they look like our shoes? But the shoes and the ball give you away. Like, when you have them, it gives other bowlers, other psychos, they'll come up and be like, Hey, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been invited to
same shoes, bro.
I'm right in now. I say bye. I was telling my girlfriend when I leave, I have to say bye to 10 people when I leave the bowling alley. Yeah.
You're gonna get to the point though where you're like, you have to find a new bowling alley because you don't want to deal with
It's already
them.
getting there. It's already. I went at like 10:30, 11 o'clock at night the other day because I was like, I just want to practice. Another time I was next to a big group of kids. Not kids, but like 20-year-olds, like probably like right around that legal drinking age.
Yeah.
And I remember they were like, "What the fuck? Like, who is this guy?" But I don't bother anybody. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I don't like give anyone any shit or like I've seen those guys, like some of the more eccentric guys at the bowling alley, and they're kind of like they want to get involved and mix it up with people.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, just mind your business.
Well, because it becomes like their only social outing too, and they're like, yeah, you can just toss your hand over a little.
I know. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there was this guy there who actually I never see there. He's not like a regular.
So maybe it was like a ghost of the lane.
But he was kind of like being a little too like trying. But at the same time, another thing that happens, which is funny, is like drunks. Like, just regular. And they actually every now and then I'll be like, this guy, but then I'm like, he kind of has a right to be here. Like, there's a bar here.
Right there, yeah.
So it's like, and they brew beer there too, which I also kind of like always find funny when I go to a brewery and they act like it's so fancy. I do a lot of shows at breweries now, and everyone acts like it's so fancy. I'm like, they brew beer at fucking Boston Bowl too. Like, it ain't that fancy. And I hear their brew is really good.
Yeah.
Like, it's award winning and shit. So I'm like, this isn't crazy. You just need space.
It's not rocket science, man.
Yeah. So, and it's always on the PA, like, try our home brew or whatever. So every now and then a dude will get shit faced, and then that's tense because he was going down to every. It seemed like he was hitting every guy who's like too serious about bowling, myself included, and being like, I think you're in my lane. Like, I think that's my spot. And then being overly like, I'm sorry, bro. Dude, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. You're clearly a serious bowler. Like, he was over. And I was like, this dude, like, when he gets up in one of these like Vietnam vets' face, he's gonna fucking punch him.
Yeah.
There's a ton of vets. There's a ton of guys like that, like with the veteran, like old. And they can fucking bowl well. That's my whole thing, dude. It's not made up. I legitimately respect these men. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's something you want to get there too.
Yeah, but I respect them obviously as men. A lot of them are vets. A lot of them probably have
You're
kids.
like, forget the veteran thing.
All that stuff is true, but all that stuff is just your average.
Yeah.
I respect this guy.
Yeah,
all that stuff's true, but like, if I'm gonna be real, I respect them as bowlers, and like I listen. It's dude. I think about it all the time. I'm like, this is just like comedy, man. When one of these guys talking to me, I listen hard.
Yeah.
Just like in comedy, there's other levels of listening in your life. You know,
100%.
Sometimes you're just
every
like,
third word.
That's
my
sometimes
favorite.
you're barely there at all. Sometimes it's like your girlfriend, especially. You know, like the whole thing. Women have to like dump their day. Like, they have to.
That's a weird thing.
It's a man-woman thing that is different.
Yeah.
It's one of the, I think, core differences. And for young guns out there, I never met a woman that doesn't do it.
Yeah, and it's not going to change. Don't fight it.
It's don't do what I did and spend like 10 years looking for the chick who doesn't do that. Because she's not out there. Every woman wants
maybe someone with like out vocal cords. And then just don't.
She's just gonna sign her.
Don't learn it, and then it's just like it's just gang signs.
But it is true. It's like they know it too. Like they don't even need you to really even listen that well.
No, you just have to not tell them to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just like, I had a long day too.
Yeah,
like you can never do
it's
that.
It's always the same. Like, man, work is hard, and so and so who works
Can't
with
believe
me
what Margaret did.
Thinks she's better than Like they always have like a work enemy who's like not carrying. It's all the same problems everyone has.
Yeah.
But it's a clear male-woman thing, and I actually think, if I'm gonna be real, it's probably healthier. It's probably why women
definitely
can be healthy. I think women.
It goes two ways.
I've seen women. I was at a party last weekend with all the boyfriends were strangers to each other, and all the women knew each other.
Oh yeah. So every party I've ever been to.
Yeah. But it was funny because the women like are just share, like sharing how they're feeling about everything and their problems and their highs and lows.
Yeah.
And I always think like, some people would call women like emotional, but I would say they're just getting it out all the time. Whereas men are more like emotionally constipated. And we kind of like...
And they're more like rats where it always runs.
Yeah, it's like running. They're dropping little shits of emotion everywhere. And men are like emotionally constipated until we like explode with shit.
That's true. That's definitely true.
Either in rage, but more modernly anxiety and depression.
Yeah. The rage is better.
But like you see, I always think of that at like work, like when I work on something and there's like someone who's like clearly just like a nervous wreck.
Yeah.
I'm always like, that dude is just he's not telling anyone how he feels.
It's like a chihuahua. It's like
because I've been that guy. Like when I lived in LA, I really didn't have any friends. Like I had one friend, but if he was busy, which he was a lot,
so you're super isolated.
Before you know it, you're like. You're working and you're around people, but you're always this guy calls it the self-help guy. The guy from not Elon Musk. The guy who did the Power of One. He's like, you're an power of now. You're an impression of yourself. You're doing an impression of yourself.
100%. Yeah.
And you can get into that mode for like weeks, months, Yeah. And but it comes out, and I do feel like women are better at that. Like I always prefer. Like if you're going to be in a therapy situation, I prefer a woman because you're going to get to the same end point as you would with a guy, but with less like dick measuring along the way.
Yeah.
You're going to reach the same conclusion either way.
I think you're right, but for me, the way women do it seems exhausting to me because it's just constant. I'd rather just punch a hole in the wall twice a year than...
I guess that's true. I mean,
it's just constant. And it's like needless worrying too about future events.
That's a problem one.
That drives me crazy.
That's where women I think, can be weak.
Do you think it's like a survival thing though? I think it's almost like a caveman thing. Like you're worried about a hard winter. You're worried about surviving.
Yeah, men I think can be more like I'm worried about this thing in front of us right now.
This day, and maybe tomorrow.
Women are kind of the voice of reason.
Yeah. But that's a good thing. Like,
absolutely.
It's a good thing about like gender. Like they want to normalize everybody and bring everybody to like the same.
Yeah,
and it's good that everyone's different.
Yeah, the difference is this is tampering with our
mission
statement.
It is.
But the differences actually are like evolutionary
and
important. There for a reason.
Yeah.
I was just having this conversation. I said to someone, I always talk about how I shave my armpits.
Yeah.
Some people think that's like.
Insane.
The funniest one I think is people thinking like it's gay. I'm like,
how is it gay?
How is it gay? No one knows. Like the only reason anyone knows is because I talk about it.
And if you think that's gay, you might be doing a lot of gay stuff in your life because that's not a requirement.
I remember when I started doing it, I had that. I was like, is this gay? And then I was like, what's gay about this? Like, I'm not like sucking a dick while I shave my armpits. But it makes me feel good. I'm still a sweater, but I was like way more of a sweater before I started doing it. But anyway, I was talking to someone and she goes, it was a woman too. She goes, I feel like, she goes, why do you shave your armpit hair? You need armpit hair. It's there for a reason. Yeah. And I was like, to like attract a mate, like in caveman times. I was like, the reason is gone.
It could easily be that. Like she was assuming it's to like wick moisture away.
Yeah,
but
nah.
It could easily be what you're saying.
No, I don't think it's to wick moisture away.
Yeah.
I think it's for like.
I think it's both because you have it in your moist areas if you think about it. So I think
but that's where all like our pheromones are coming from.
So you gotta
like
catch
our dick and balls.
Yeah.
That smell is what we consider, I think, as.
But Deucey.
This is a good show that we're not getting to the things. When this is like Kumia when you never get to anything.
Yeah, it's so much better.
It's that kind of like nasty smell, like whoa, I gotta fucking clean my dick.
Yeah,
it is nasty, but it's meant to be there so a chick can smell you from like 500 yards.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Dude, it's
like a chick can be drinking water and be like, is that dick I smell?
And then it meshes with their like brain, and then it's like, is it compatible? Is it not compatible?
I think we've talked about this a ton. in our off mic life. But I think that's so real. Like when I was Tindering a lot and going on a lot of dates, some of the chicks to me would just like smell what I always describe as like farts, but it's not. Obviously, like farts is like way bad. But like a farty, unpleasant,
something that's just saying kind of no warning a little bit.
Something that's just like bad, you know.
Yeah.
And I always used to think, I used to say to Steve, like when I was dating, I'd be like, it's like chemically something in your brain is like, you two would have a Down syndrome baby, or like you two
like that.
will like. You guys hate the same things, or you hate the same foods,
or you're like
your
cousins somehow.
Or you're exactly your cousins, or you could something is not right, and vice versa. When you with really someone you really like, you kind of like eventually it's like even to use the farts. It's like their farts don't bother you. All of a sudden, like they're funking it. Like girls will always say, like I like it when you smell, kind of. You know, it's like. It's a girl who like likes you when you smell bad, like spicy. That's like that chick loves you, you know. On a scientific level. So I don't know what we accomplished there, but
fixed it.
I don't know how that all started either. We were just talking about fucking random shit.
Do you want to get into something?
Yeah, dude, let's get into something. I looked at you had a lot of good stuff, so you can choose whatever you want to talk about first.
The sex house.
Oh, the sex house. Looks like a lot of houses around here. I mean, obviously not right around Boston in the city, but when you get out of Boston, this is
it's pretty standard.
I mean, that's like the nicer parts of Milton have houses like that. Yeah,
exactly. It's a great house, $750. It's a good price.
That's a great price for a house. We sound like old guys.
I love it though.
All right, so first signs though. So when I was clicking through this,
the bears, right?
All right, so a lot of people have probably seen this story already, but when I was like clicking through this, I was like, I didn't know what I was gonna be looking for because it just said like, check out this home listing.
Yeah.
You won't fucking believe it. So I started clicking through it, and I'm waiting to see what the fuck the reveal is. But I don't know about you, but my first signs of like, what's up with these bears?
Yeah. And the bear with the leather, like I like leather couches, obviously, but I don't know. There's just a little something going on there. You don't really know, but
this is the kind of thing. Me and my girlfriend fight a lot about the way people decorate their houses. This to me is very nice, but like I would hate this. I don't want to live in like a fucking.
I think I like it because it's easy to clean. It looks like to me. You pull that bear rug up, just get your Swiffer sweeper out.
I like.
There's a lot of weird things.
It's a little too store-bought for me. It's a little too like...
This is weird. I mean, it's kind of nice, too. You sit by the fire, play some chess.
Yeah, that never happens, right?
All right, so it's still nice.
This is where it's got... Yeah, there's something very like... And this is where I plan my murders.
Yeah, it's very, very dextery.
I mean, it's the way it's lit, too. It's like certain photographers, this is how they like to do it, you know?
But still, more bear.
More bear. Very basic though. Like
same color. Like the color schemes you expect.
Nothing about this house that's like, and you know this house comes fully furnished, so you get all this stuff.
Yeah. Which it's another bear.
Another bear skin, and almost every.
How many bears? Like Jesus, people.
No kidding. Like 5 or 6 dead bears.
Yeah. Hey, boo boo.
This fucking... That's kind of nice. I like that little office. I would choose this bedroom. I like the angled bed.
I like angled rooms, too. Yeah. For sound, it's nice.
Grew up in one.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah, my room growing up was like... side.
Gabled?
Yeah, gabled. Will of Green Gables. So, all typical stuff.
Yeah, it's good. They got a cat. Little black cat.
Oh, look at that guy. He does not come with the house.
He looks a little scared, like he's seen some stuff, though.
Yeah. Cat's telling a tale. This does go to show though, like you don't know your neighbors, you know, because you're. Oh, what's that? I never.
What does it say? If you want the results, you've got to put up with the pain or rain.
If you want the rainbow, you got to put
there you
up
go.
with the rain. If you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain. Jimmy Durante. That's first of all, that's not even how that quote goes. It's like I've heard it in very different ways, but Never heard it that way. Although good sentiment.
Yeah, they got surround sound. They got 5.1. I can tell.
No rain, no rainbows.
Yeah, it's good.
Interesting sentiment for a windowless room, though.
Yeah. Table's great. I love the table.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
That is nice. It's good. Definitely slightly a gothic feel.
Definitely, yeah.
A hint of gothic.
Very.
And now we get down further into the basement of the house.
Wait a second.
Yeah, it seems as if
someone's pulled the pictures.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Hang on. I think I have them though.
Holy smokes, that's like crazy. So this was the official listing, which I looked at.
Yeah, they pulled it. That sucks.
Oh, that's too bad. Well,
it was great. It was a sex room.
Yeah, it was like a sadomasochistic dungeon. We have to find the photo to at least put up for a second. Holy shit, all that build up.
I have it. I can stick it in my Dropbox.
I can't believe they haven't.
I had a feeling.
I'm sure there's a million articles about it.
I had a feeling this is gonna happen though, so I pulled it.
Oh, nice. Yeah, it was. I actually read an article with the realtor. She got a lot of love. I heard everyone was really happy, and the people that lived in the house were really happy, but the neighbors were getting pissed.
Yeah, well, especially because the address, it was the address was on every article that I saw too. So that's where it gets a little weird. But
I heard they had big kind of parties. So they're big. I mean, if you look when
it's weird when you first see it, but when you really think about it, is it really that weird?
No, I don't give a shit.
People are doing a lot fucking worse than that.
I lived with a guy who did that for almost a year. I lived with a guy who taught sadomasochism and did it in the apartment.
Taught it.
Yeah, he taught it. He was like an
college
instructor.
level.
Yeah, he's like he trained at sadomasochistic Hogwarts. Hog-timey warts.
All right, so let's go on to. I got a good marijuana one.
I can't believe they took that down. Oh well.
Yeah, we'll come back though. I'll get it and I'll pull it in the Dropbox, but I just don't want to stall too much.
Of course.
Let me find.
Oh, the population thing. Everyone's always talking about this.
This one's interesting actually though, because I've never seen one that's gonna drop off all the way, but their reasoning is kind of on point. It's just as people are lifted out of third world poverty, people have less and less kids. Richer people tend to have less kids. So if we move to a place of utopia or whatever you want to say, they basically postulate that would be the end of humanity.
That's interesting.
It wouldn't though, because you'd see the numbers dropping and people would just be like, "We're gonna fuck now." It'd be like a national decree, like 2 kids, everyone get to work.
They already do that in a lot of China, right? I'd be surprised if people ever stopped procreating. It's like breathing. It's one of our most natural.
I could see it leveling off more. I could definitely understand that, but it's not going to drop off the way they think it's gonna, because it's too easily observable. Like if it's like something that's secret and happening in the background, like you're getting sterilized over generations and you don't see it coming, I could see that happening. But this is basically just talking about how as soon as you get out of poverty, there's less kids. So it's just too observable. So people just have more kids.
Too, right? It's like more money to have kids.
It makes sense though too.
Yeah, of course.
Like, cause you're just like, what? I don't want to fucking do this shit for 1,000 years.
But why? What's the opposite? Why have more kids when you have less?
I think it's survival. It's almost like a litter of kids. You figure a couple are gonna die. It's
good
built
lord.
In. Yeah, I think it's something like that.
Good lord, that's dark. I didn't even think of it that way.
Sorry.
I was actually you think it's just boredom? You're like sitting around.
It could
all
be.
day.
Sex is free.
You don't have any. Yeah,
could,
sex is the best time.
Could definitely be
free.
100% could be that too.
So why not just do it all the time and then deal with the consequences?
Yeah, exactly. But that's not a good.
Let's do the balding thing real quick.
All right.
Because I was thinking about. All right, so this is also meant to be. So, what's the name of this segment again?
Just shave it, bro.
Just shave it, bro. Paul has strong feelings about this.
I don't know if strong feelings. It's almost like I want to give these people a hug.
It's something we talk about, though.
Yeah,
we've talked about over the years.
Because if you're going bald, you can fight it off with taking drugs now, but they do some weird shit to you. There's a lot of depression side effects.
Big,
There's a lot of
side effects.
Your dick's not going to be as hard.
I'm not a fan of just fighting it that hard. I'm kind of like, hey man, you're meant to go bald. You're meant to go bald, and also, I say it jokingly, but I'm not really joking. Not a doctor, obviously, not a man of science. But if it makes hair grow, what else is it making grow?
Well, it's like everything. Like you don't get anything for free.
Yeah.
Even biologically,
Yeah.
you don't get things for free.
So something else is getting altered.
Yeah.
So if it's like cancer cells or even the likelihood of cancer cells or something, I don't want to fuck with that.
Or who knows?
Yeah,
like,
anything.
Yeah. But so this is the one.
So I chose. I've been watching a lot of bowling. I have mixed feelings about Sean Rash. Very mixed feelings about Sean Rash.
I think he's a good dude because the picture that we're gonna show says Sean Rash to fulfill wish for 11-year-old boy suffering from
he's
bone
a
cancer.
great that's the thing. I like him. He's a great fucking bowler, but he can be a dick. But I like the guys who are like a dick.
Yeah.
Sometimes his way of being a dick, it's just not. It's the way you're like, man, a dick has been a dick to me in that way. Many times.
Yeah.
He's got a little bit of like.
It's a little aggressive, right?
It's a little aggressive. It's a little bit of I hate to kind of say it, but it's a little bit like white boy from the suburbs, like. Yeah, eat that. You know what I mean? Like you play kick the can or something, and he's just like na boo boo, eat that, and you're kind of like, ugh, like I don't know why I'm even so mad, but I am, you know.
na boo boo really got to me,
you know. And like his rival is kind of Jason Belmonte, who I love as a bowler. Talks to me on Twitter.
So now we're getting to what
probably
really
the
is.
best bowler alive right now. Just won his 10th major title, youngest guy to ever do it. But I don't even know how real that rivalry is between them.
It's hard to know because it's almost like an Oasis Blur. They get a little extra publicity if you get some infighting.
He bowls for Brunswick, which is what I bowl with. So I have mixed feelings about Sean Rash. His parents seem like good people. I follow them on Instagram. But
his parents.
But I've been watching a lot of Sean Rash tape, and I'm like, man, and he's got a great bowling style, but I'm like, man, his hair. I've been watching it, because you watch the tapes each, and he's losing it in a very. Here's the guys I feel the most bad for. Like, they don't even lose it in like a pattern.
Yeah.
Like they don't lose it in that like widow's peak way or bald spot way. It's just like randomly kind of
just a little patchy.
Yeah.
Even. Yeah.
Because those are the guys I understand why they don't just shave it, bro.
Yeah,
because they're like, what? But right here, so
exactly.
Thick.
In certain angles, it looks pretty good.
Yeah, so I get it.
Yeah, I completely get it. Like,
Yeah.
For this guy, I'd actually say go with it. I don't think it's too far. I think you can work with that.
This photo here looks great, but can we get...
there's other ones.
Are there any more like where we can see?
It's a little worse.
See, I think I got a problem with this patch, like in the... There you go. That's a terrible one right there.
But I think this is a fixable hairline because his hairline's not bad. Like look at like right here.
Yeah.
Like what's up, cat?
I know she doesn't come up very much.
But the top part that's fixable. So I don't think this guy's a just shaver, bro.
All right.
I think it's maybe just spend some money and get it done if you want to.
See, that's why I suggested him for just shave it, bro.
Yeah.
He's right.
It's a good one. Yeah.
He's on that line.
He's a good one.
I would say this. Don't put gel in it, bro. He puts a little
the gel
in it sometimes.
Thins it out.
Yeah,
you need that volume.
Also, none of the bowlers ever wear hats. I always wonder why. Like,
it'd be cool.
I don't think there's anything in the rules that says like you can't wear a hat. And like a backwards hat or like a sideways hat or something.
It'd be cool.
Would look pretty cool. One of the things I would like to change about bowling would be the shirts.
You don't like the shirts?
I don't hate them. Come on in. I don't hate the shirts, but they're a little bit of an issue for me. Like they're just a little bit like there's not enough diversity. Like guys should be able to just wear whatever kind of shirt they want.
Yeah.
And it seems like everyone now wears these flashy shirts with their sponsors on it, which I get it. I would like to see just a couple guys here and there go like all black.
Go real classic.
All white. The one guy wears like the guy with the afro wears like super crazy stuff and they all got their things. I like Just Shave It Bro as a segment.
So I got another one that's more fun because when I saw this guy, like the first picture I found is Sean. What was his name? Sean Rash.
Sean Rash. He's on the box at my bowling ball.
Yeah. But the first thing I saw, it was like him. There was like 5 charity things that he did. So I was like, it's hard to shit on him. It's part of Just Shave Me, Bro. I do want to shit on people.
You can YouTube him though and find 5 things that make you.
Watch this guy. I found the best way. This guy sent a bunch of money to a cam girl and then killed the family. So this guy's really easy to shit on.
Just shave it, bro. Yeah. Did we get him on full screen?
Yeah.
Oh, that is so great. Yeah, that is a Just Shave It Bro candidate.
100%, man. I think like if he had shaved his head earlier, he might have not been so angry.
Ooh.
I think he might have fixed it.
Damn.
That was like his.
That
was his fork.
I got this fortune cookie the other day that said. It was like one of the best fortune cookies I'd gotten in a really long time. It said, "The roughest times in your life are behind you." That's
pretty good.
Fortune cookie said, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Damn, that's like the best fortune cookie I've gotten in a really long time." And then I kind of was like, "Allow yourself to believe that that's true for a few moments, Will, and see what that feels like." And I was like, I hope I do. I do remember thinking, I don't know if the worst parts of my life are ever over. You're always
never
gonna
know,
have to
right?
deal with loss.
Yeah.
Of a loved one, hopefully an older loved one, but you never know.
You know? Exactly.
And so that's something that could, no matter how great of a life you lead, can always happen, right? But I was like, one thing I think I don't, and I just hope I'm never as low as I've been at like when I was like 26, 27 years old, when I like really hit the skids. And sometimes when I see a photo like this, I'm like, that is someone. I mean, obviously I never killed anyone. Obviously I never did anything like that. But like sometimes I see a mugshot and I'm like, that photo really captures what that feels like. Like what you feel like when you're just like, go ahead, take my fucking picture.
Yeah.
I got nothing left.
Nope.
I do not care anymore. Like that's because like when a lot of people are getting their mugshot taken, that's what they're thinking. They're like, you got me.
Yeah.
It's over.
Yeah.
Like this whole
charade or whatever
downward charade spiral thing that I've been on for a year to 2 years, it's done now. That I fucking stand when I look at some of these people's faces.
This guy.
Because I remember that time in my life, like when you finally just go, and you see it on like episodes. That's what the best moment of an episode of Intervention is when they're in the intervention and the person just finally goes, "I'm full of bullshit. I'm full of shit.
Yeah.
Let's go."
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah. You got me.
You got me. Like,
checkmate.
All right. Like you chipped through it. And now, I mean, I hate to find some sort of common ground with like a fucking murderer.
Yeah.
But I think about all the time when I see those mugshots of people.
Not every guy just shave me bro guy. Not every just shave me bro guy is gonna really fall into this, but not shaving your head. This guy's 29. He looks crazy. Like not shaving your head is a tip off.
Yeah.
Or not doing something. Like there's something. Was he just wearing hats?
There's a comic right now in Boston who's purposefully looking crazy.
It's different though.
He's got kind of like that. He's not that bald, but he's going bald, and he's growing his hair out, and he kind of looks like Krusty the Clown. Or something. And I'm kind of like, good for you. You're a comedian.
It makes more sense as a comedian.
But he's only a comedian 2 hours a day. Like he's got to walk this earth the rest of the day. He looks fucking nuts, But you're absolutely right. This guy looks 40.
Yeah, it's a that head is a warning sign.
It's interesting you say that because I didn't shower for like 24 hours because I was just like, I just was so busy for like a month, 3 weeks to a month. Really, it was probably like only like 2.5 weeks, but it feels like
it was
a month.
Hard 2 weeks though too.
It really was hard.
Yeah.
And I got sick during it. But anyway, that's fine. Like I'm happy it's over or whatever. But I was finally kind of like, man, I need to like At first, it was like, I'm going to relax. And then I was like, I really need to relax. Like,
you have to force yourself.
I was playing FIFA. Like, I had to force myself to, like, play FIFA for a little while. And then I started to get into it. So then I was like, all right, I'm just going to, like, really do nothing and smoke weed. Like, I still brought my car in the garage or whatever. But I was like, I'm not doing any business. I was like, I'm going to smoke weed, play video games, and eat food. And that's what I did. But I didn't shower. And I took a shower today. And I was like, man, I can't even remember the last time I've been, like, this grimy.
Doesn't it feel good, though? Doesn't the shower feel so much better?
Yeah, it did. And I was like, I think this is actually necessary once in a while.
I think you're probably supposed to do it every once in a while.
Every now and then a man should clean himself up and shave and put on a suit, but also every once in a while you should like bask in
be
your
a filth monster.
Yeah, like a complete like I was like, when I like got naked, I was like, I smell poo. I smell poo. I was like, I have accrued so much poo, like residue. I don't know. I doubt you can see poo on my body,
no,
but there's
enough. There.
There's enough there that like you can vaguely smell poo. That's when you know. I remember like Howard Stern used to talk about how he hated. He used to talk about it 69. He's like, I could never do a 69. He's like, sometimes just climbing into missionary. He's like, when my ass cheeks open, he's like, I can smell my own ass for a second. Dude, it kills me. That's what made Howard Stern so good. Yeah. It was like,
what happened to that guy?
I don't know, but those are the moments like I try and that's why I like am glad podcasts are so popular now, and I have one.
Yeah.
And now too, and we have this because that's the shit I love to listen to.
So much better that way.
It's like someone just being like, "Oh man, I didn't shower."
Just silly
and I
stuff.
could smell poo.
You ever watch the Mythbusters about poo? How it's everywhere you've ever been.
Dr. Oz did a episode like that too.
Yeah.
Where he just went around New York and took random samples. And he said doctors just say, there's a saying amongst doctors, like the world is covered in a layer of shit.
100%. It's probably even good for you, actually.
Did you hear that guy on TV who was like, I haven't washed my hands in 10 years?
No.
He was like a Good Morning America host. He was like, I haven't washed my hands in 10 years. I relate with these people who put their foot in their mouth that hard. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Because I get it. Because like sometimes when you're just talking on shows, you're just like, blah, 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 blah. And like, it's not until later where you're like, what did I say? Someone comes at you and you're like, I don't care, dude. Like, I didn't even care. I just said that.
I just say things.
I just say things, man. It's totally the truth. You're like, it's like having a gun to your head.
So many people.
Sometimes it's funny.
People don't understand that though. Most people they're like, your words are your bond.
Your words are your bond. I don't say things I don't mean. It's like, well, yeah, but no one listens to
Yeah, exactly. I talk nonsense 90% of the day.
Especially when there's a live audience. It's like, if people are looking at I forget what comedian it was. I think it was Dave Chappelle. He was like on stage and he just stopped because he was like, sometimes one of the hardest parts about being a comedian is like you look down and there's just a dude looking up at you like
It's gotta be so weird.
It is like most people are just, but every now and then it's like they're like super with you. They're happy. They're psyched, and they're like right with you. And you just don't want to let those dudes down. You don't want to let anyone down that is that into it.
That's
and
weird.
Then you start skating on your weaker ice.
Yeah.
Now you're trying to.
I think it's easier to deal with like people who hate you than someone who likes you.
I think so in a sense. Like I had a good set at Nick's this weekend because a bunch of shit went wrong right before I went on stage. And then I brought that energy of like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Through my whole set. And a lot of people loved it. And a lot of comics who see me all the time are like, I kind of like that. Like side up. Which is funny because I've been going the other way. I think that's probably what it was. Like I've been nicer lately.
Yeah.
So I think people were just happy to see. Comics like to see that range go back and forth.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I didn't pay it like a ton of mind, but I was like,
you can't either though, because now what are you gonna like?
I was swearing a lot, like, which I think maybe to a younger comic is like
yeah.
seems more like, oh, you were edgy to me, or you were like cranky to me.
Yeah.
Or in my mind, I was like, that was like a rowdy Saturday night crowd in a bad room, not built for comedy.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to like keep pace.
Yeah, you were just reflecting it almost.
Kinda. Yeah. It's hard to like even I not proud of that. That's what I was saying. Like he was kind of saying he was kind of saying that was good, and I was kind of like thank you, and I know what you mean. Yeah. But like I'm not really proud of that. Like the fact that I do that.
Yeah.
It's like a trick, you know. I always say it's like when a stripper clacks their heels together. When you like watch it, when you start watching the Celtics game, the stripper goes like that.
Wait, the Celtics game?
Like you go to a strip club to watch, there's other strippers naked and all around you. There's a there's TV showing ESPN and everything, right? And I have a not so great attention span. I'm always high when I'm at strip clubs, so I'm always like this. And I've noticed eventually that when I start looking around, the strippers will do this like click those high heels, and all of a sudden you're right back on them. That's like what swearing is for a comedian. Yeah, it's like when the audience starts to pull back, you just start going, fuck, and it's like
a jab almost.
Yeah. You just so but it's. I don't. It's not my problem when I'm the closer, but it used to be a big deal when you're in the middle act.
Yeah.
You come off stage and this guy's like, Jesus, man.
Yeah, but that gotta suck too, because now you have to almost like not walk on eggshells, but think about the next guy.
Yeah, I know. I try not to.
I know, like you don't want
to think about that. I try not to be hard on my openers.
Yeah,
but there are times though.
Yeah,
where I'm like sitting there and I'm like, Jesus, man, like
why would
tell
you do
a
that?
fucking joke, I hate when they do crowd work that sucks. I don't care if they do. I don't really even care. Like you don't really want the guy in front of you doing a ton of crowd work just because it's now you kind of have to do crowd work, whether you wanted to or not.
So it almost condition them for that instead of they're not ready for jokes now. They're ready for grab
it's kind of like someone took the puppy and like gave it like sugar.
Oh yeah.
You know? Now it's like, great, I gotta kind of bring them. If I wasn't planning on doing that, now I have to like bring them to my level.
Yeah.
Whereas you're not really handing me like a good crowd, you're handing me kind of like a fucked up crowd.
That's already put on a certain path too.
Exactly. You're controlling too much of the show for the guy who's not on the sign.
Yeah.
That's basically what it is. But you can only like get so mad about that, It's like you said, it's
you still gotta kind of do
a job to do, and we're all just swimming, like we're all just like it's. I always think it's like fishing underwater with like a knife in your hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're all like lucky to catch a fish if we can catch one.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily you can't be too hard on each other. I think about stuff like that. But what I hate is when I see the guy go in. So, what do you do for a living? Yeah? Okay. And like he's not doing well.
There's not even prepared bits off of what they're saying.
Yeah, I'm just like, dude, like, what are you trying to do,
Yeah.
Don't learn how to do crowd work in this spot.
Yeah, exactly.
So that kind of bothers me, and I see that a lot. Another thing that is funny is when you see... This is a weird one, is when you see a guy who's clearly influenced by you opening for you.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's a weird...
And you've been around for so long, you probably see that more often now.
You see a guy like doing kind of like your tricks. I remember hearing Jim Gaffigan would talk about like, he'd do like a week with someone, and by the end of the week, they'd be like, what's up with this crowd? Like they'd be doing his thing where the crowd talks. He'd be like, this guy's weird. Like he's like every week the other comics would just start doing it by the end of the week.
It's understandable in a way, but it's so bad. It's such a bad habit.
I see, and I'm like, that's what I know. I'm like, wow, I must be kind of getting old in this game.
Yeah.
If they see enough. One guy like really does it a lot. But I'm just kind of like, well, that's that.
It's like your thing that I always make you talk about, the regional Noonans, where you could just have a bunch of Noonans and just send them all over the country.
I do wish you could sell the act like that, Like I wish there was
like
still
like
a photo of me like when you walk through the door.
Yeah.
But like you just don't know it's gonna be some other guy.
Yeah.
It'd be even better if we could get like a mascot sized head. So he's just doing the and it's like playing over. That would be great. I would love to be on stage.
Maybe,
even though doing a commercial kind of feels like that. It kind of feels in the sense of, I have a couple of gigs. I have the commercial and the Atlanta Aquarium thing that make me feel like I'm always working somewhere all the time.
Do you think there actually could be a feature in it where you put on some kind of like suit, you go in like a 3D camera thing, you're broadcast to multiple places at the same time?
I think that's like before I'm old.
Yeah.
Gray, that'll be.
Yeah.
I think there's a thing where I don't think it'll be like a suit.
Yeah, I don't know why you'd have to do that.
It'll be like a little tiny room, or probably more likely, let's mark this in your memories. I think it'll be just the front row of the show you're at. You'll have like a camera on your lapel or in your like glasses.
Yeah.
The front row of the show will all have cameras on them. And then like maybe a few people throughout the crowd, and the person at home with their VR will be able to jump between all those cameras as much as they want.
Yeah.
They could watch it from my perspective.
They could watch it
from...
Have you ever watched the NBA games? They do something really similar to that.
Yeah, the new thing they're doing now too. I have watched one whole game that way.
Yeah. You can switch to under the net or
the one I had only would let me watch the game I was watching. The only one that was working was above the net.
Oh yeah, it's not a great place to watch it from.
Shot clock.
Yeah,
kind of sucked.
Now I think they upgraded because they have like a good like half court fan thing, and then right under the net, like where Wick Grosbeck sits, pretty much.
That'd be cool. I would like the courtside seat, like because I've sat courtside. That's like a good way to watch hoop.
And the other cool thing is they also they have their own like color guy for your ears for that broadcast. So there's like 2 different broadcasts as you switch. It's very cool the way they do it.
Yeah, when I watched it, it was nothing.
Yeah.
It was just like arena noise.
Yeah.
I heard now too you can get like a player game or something like that.
Oh wow.
It's called players only audio or something like that.
Wow. That'd be pretty cool.
They got Kevin McHale saying dickhead last night. Calling a ref a dickhead. I think that's fucked up. I was watching like,
if he gets in trouble, it's fucked up.
I was watching the NFL films thing of like the Super Bowl, and I was like, it kind of sucks for a guy like Belichick to know he's constantly being filmed and recorded from like the second he walks out the gate.
It's some guys it's gonna almost fuck with. I don't know how much it messes with Belichick.
McCoy, what's his name? The Rams head coach. I think it was like affecting him in a big way. He seemed to be performing.
It could happen. It could 100% happen.
I was like, this guy is not stupid. He's a football guy, so he probably has NFL films DVDs. He's like in his head, he's like, this is it. I'm on NFL.
Especially if he beats Belichick too.
Because that's I feel like I'm pretty good at spotting, like acting and like performing.
Yeah.
Just from being an actor and going through hundreds of hours of watching people like act and having teachers be like they'd snap their fingers and make you stop when you started to do false type stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like ingrained. And I think it's just like, you know, something I'm good at. And I was like watching that and I'm like, he is so aware of like the gravity of all this, but just the cameras and the fact that he's being recorded right now.
Yeah. It sucks if that really got in his way. It looked like he wasn't prepared. I agree with
Shannon Sharp, who said the game was over before it started.
Yeah, he said it. The coach said it after the game. He was out coached. Like they were just so.
But it was like when he was like, really, really respect you. I get that actually. I could see that. I could see that in friendly competition. But to say to his own assistants, like,
it's a little weird.
I just can't wait to see what they come up with, man.
It's a little
just
weird.
Happy to be like. It's like
happy to be here.
It's like, dude, you should.
It's
don't
pretty
put the
weird.
killer instinct away yet.
All right, so we're at 3 of 4. So do you want to go to a last thing and then?
Yeah, let's do one thing and then we'll do scratch ticket.
Right, so here's a fun one. This is
end on a fun note.
It's a Bill Walton thing. I don't know if you saw this.
Big Bill Walton fan.
Hang on. Let me back up here and get this full screen because it's pretty great.
Bill Walton's got balls, man.
He's a fun guy.
Take a bite out of it while it's lit. While it's lit. Say, oh, I'm kidding.
Just Bill Walton being high, basically.
Yeah, I don't think he'd give a shit. Is this a hypothetical? As in, would I do this?
Yeah. Well, no. Let's take it a little further. Like, okay. So you know. Let me pause.
This is the kind of thing, though. I bet he probably. This is the kind of joke that sucks when you gotta live with it for like 4 days.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've done jokes like this, where you're like, that was funny and maybe worth it. For him, it's going viral. Yeah. But it's like when you burn yourself on your roof of your mouth, it's like a fucking pain in the ass. Yeah. But and he's old.
Yeah.
So that might be a week and a half. What do you think?
I just love him.
Oh, I love Bill Walton too. I love it when he calls the games. I'm like he's
real smart too. Yeah. He's real and he gets real trippy at times too.
Well, he's a fantastic basketball mind, but he's also just like a weirdo.
Yeah. Well, he followed like the Grateful Dead for a while. So.
No, I read his book, man. He was really into that. Sort of mind expanding kind of thinking about.
And he seems pretty good. He looks healthy to me. He's got to be.
He's the guy. He's the reason why they had to change the rules about players being able to see their own physicians because of Bill Walton.
Oh yeah.
He was the first guy who had like a botched foot surgery from a team doctor in the Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Like fucked up his whole career.
Really destroyed him. And she still deals with it to this day. That's messed up.
And he it probably cost him like years of his playing career. So, and he, that would I think that would ruin a lot of people's like good moods and good personalities. And he managed to kind of still.
Well, he probably he seems, I don't know really, but he seems like he's on a ton, like he smokes a ton of weed. So he's probably got a lot of.
I bet he's one of those guys who smokes less than people think.
But what I was going to say, if you have feet injuries, if you have any pain, bone injuries, marijuana is great for it. It really is.
My mom, well, actually, I'll tell you later. Whoops. Almost did it again, as always.
All right, so you want to do the scratch ticket?
Yeah, let's do that.
And I'll look at the chat. I think we got a couple people.
See if we got some chats. We'll do a couple minutes over, but because we started a couple minutes late.
So Flat Cat popped in. Oh, she saw my cat when it came on, and Jen Mengen said she barely means anything she says, which I agree with. I
agree with that.
It's just easier. People who are serious all the time, it's tough.
Over it. I'm actually starting to believe what I say. Oh, I love these numbers this week. 2, 4, 1. 17. 3 single digits. That's great.
That is good though. That's see, I'm really understanding your mindset.
You're starting to get it now?
Yeah.
6, 12. That's not good. Holy shit. We got a 5
might
times.
Be the one.
We got a 5 times.
Nice.
That means whatever that is, we win 5 times what it is.
That's gonna be a $50 ticket.
We'll see. I said I like this ticket.
You did.
We got a 9. That's no good.
Make his month.
We got a 22. That's no good. Daddy's going to Florida. I could use some spending money down there. 22, 18. We could also use a fucking viral video from this podcast. We got nothing. 2, 4, 1, 17, 2, 4, 1. See, this is how I like to do it, though. I'm leaving that prize to the end. I always do that.
I like that.
I do not go and see what that is.
Delayed gratification.
2, 4, 1, 17. So we did win 5 times.
Something.
5 times. If it's $1, we won $5.
If they do that, that's dirty. If they do $1.
5 times $2.
Nice.
So
$10.
$10.
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. I think that's the most we've won.
That is.
In 7 episodes.
That is more.
$10. We all got a little bit excited.
Let's be honest.
When we saw 5 times, we were like, is it gonna be 500? Can we really dream and think it might be 5,000? Nope. 10.
It's a good way to end now. Still won.
On a winner. We'll see you next week.
All right. Last show before Will goes to Florida for spring training.
The last week we are together in this room for 2 weeks, but then we'll be back. But yeah, but I'm looking forward to doing Skype shows. That'll be fun.
It's gonna be cool.
All right. Namaste cool, everybody.
All right.
Ooh, I love it.